All right, welcome to the special council meeting, Thursday, August 24th, 2023. I'd like to welcome the councilors, staff, and the public viewing for this meeting right now. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We acknowledge that we are Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Shelley, do the roll call, please.
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Mayor Scott. Mayor Scott has actually sent his regrets. He's in another meeting. Deputy Mayor Joseph.
Present.
Councillor Gilroy.
Present.
Councillor Gould. Councillor Gould had actually sent his regrets as well. Councillor Hotelling. Councillor Redmond has sent her regrets as well. Councillor McCormick.
Present.
Councillor Porter.
Present.
And Councillor Goodwin.
Present.
All right. Number 2, administrative and procedural. Approval of the agenda. You all had the agenda distributed to you. So the recommended motion that the agenda be approved as presented. Did anybody move that? Moved by Councillor Hotelling, seconded by Councillor Gilroy. All in favor? Say aye, raise your hand. Good, contrary nay. And motion passed. All right, 3, organizational policy bylaw policy items. 3.1, ICE allocation policy. We'll have Peter McCracken, Deputy CEO, speak about that.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Joseph. Back in April, Council directed staff to enter into discussions with the town of Amherst to determine interest and harmonization of our ICE allocation policies. The municipality's ICE allocation policy hasn't been updated since 2020. Purpose of the policy is to provide a set of consistent guidelines for all groups wanting to use the ice surface in the Richard Calder Arena. Policy is intended to be implemented in a manner that ensures the municipality is providing fair ice times to users while optimizing facility usage. This policy applies to all ice users who use the arena unless otherwise negotiated, and lays out conditions for users as well as hourly rates. There's a couple tables in the attached document. The hourly rates and fee times for both Richard Calder Arena and Amherst Stadium. As you'll see, there's a lot of similarities in the ice, both the ice fees and the rates across the weekly schedule. I guess the significant differences are the couple different categories with the Amherst Stadium, where they have a youth time fee and an early time fee, which we don't have at our arena. But if you look at the fair time and the prime time, they're quite similar. Consistent as well is that we both provide a significant amount of free ice to minor hockey associations. The Cumberland County Minor Hockey Association, including tournaments and special events, games and practices, and basically anything they can book up to a limit. So we have 270 hours of free time. Anything beyond that is charged at a regular rate. And the town of Amherst gives approximately, based on the fees, around 300 hours of free time. Also, skating clubs can use the facilities for free, user groups, schools, and so on. So very similar in terms of our approach as Amherst. So as per Council's direction to harmonize the fee rates with Amherst for the 2023-24 season, the municipality will need to increase rates. Harmonization can be done for the most part by simply adding HST versus including HST in our current rates, if Council so chooses. Staff are recommending the following changes to the ice allocation policy as well. Removing the junior B blues in the definition sections, so they're not mentioned anywhere else in the policy. a slight adjustment to the prime time in section 6. I believe there was a 15-minute gap there, so just making sure there's no gaps. Adjusting the fee rates to the current rates plus HST as mentioned, providing the same amount of free ice hours as outlined in section 7, with a small change of removing reference to tournaments free, as any tournaments would be captured in the other listed categories already. And out in clause that allows council to approve alternate ice allocation agreements with user groups from season to season. This would cover negotiated contracts with the Junior B Blues and the Senior Coal Miners, for example. If hourly bookings remain consistent, the arena would revenue would increase essentially by 15%. As a comparison, using the largest ice time user, which is the Cumberland County Minor Hockey Association. Below shows the hours used, paid for, and exempted from 22-23, and based on the same number of hours, what's the Hockey Association would be exempted from this year should council decide to increase the rates. So council has a few alternatives. Council may choose one of the following alternatives. Council may support the recommended revisions, to the policy. Council may support more or fewer revisions to the policy, and council may choose to leave the policy as is. There's a recommended motion in your package. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. All right, the recommended motion is that council approve the revisions to the ice allocation policy as outlined. Do I have anybody to move this motion? Moved by Councillor Goodwin, seconded by Councillor Gilroy. Are there any questions or comments for the deputy CAO? Seeing none. All right, wait for the question. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. Contrary-minded, nay. The motion is passed unanimously. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
All right, number 4, business issues. 4.1, purchase of rescue truck. Mr. Alan Cole, Director of Protective Services, will speak about this.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. This is an application for council to approve the purchase of a 2023 F550 4x4 crew cab rescue vehicle in the amount of $270,964 plus non-recoverable HST in the amount of $13,264.01 for a total of $283,958.01. This vehicle is earmarked for the Westchester Fire Department, whose area of responsibility includes the Highway 4 and Highway 104 corridors. Currently, Westchester operates an aging two-wheel drive rescue vehicle that's inadequate for the conditions in that area and the requirements of the Westchester Fire Department, the bulk of whose calls are motor vehicle and medical. By way of background, this recommendation arose out of the recommendations of the Fire Service Review and an updated assessment of the needs of the fire departments in relation to fire apparatus. And taking into account the budgetary constraints that we act under, staff identified 4 vehicles as a priority for 2023-2024. Council will recall that the capital budget for fire apparatus for 23-24 was approved in the amount of 1.5 million. So we have identified 4 vehicles, 2 of which are rescue trucks, 1 for Advocate, which has already been approved for purchase, and 1 for Westchester. The Westchester truck is, as I said, a 2-ton 4x4 crew cab with a 12.5-foot body. And the RFP received 1 reply or 1 proposal in relation to this vehicle. And staff recommends that council approve the purchase. Happy to take any questions.
Okay, there's a recommended motion in front of us here. And the recommended motion is that council approve the
Okay,
purchase
fine. Yeah,
of
but
2023 F-550 4x4 crew cab rescue vehicle for the sum of $270,694 plus non-recoverable HST in the amount of $13,264.01 for a total of $283,958.01. Do I have anybody to move this motion? Moved by Councilor McCormick, second by Councilor Goodwin. Are there any questions or comments for Mr. Cole? Councilor Gilroy.
Thank you, Your Worship. The current vehicle that is in Westchester, would that be something that we could move to another one of the departments that got much lower call volume than Westchester?
Deputy Mayor?
Mr. Cole, go ahead.
Counselor, I don't believe so. I don't think that, based on our fleet technicians' recommendations, I don't think it'll pass another safety inspection. But refurbishment is a possibility depending on structural integrity, a number of other factors. It's certainly something we could look at. But at the moment, though, to answer your question directly, we have no intention of repurposing that anywhere.
Great, thank you very much.
To answer your question, Councilor Gilroy? Good. Is there any questions or comments? No? I just got one. I just want to say thank you to Mr. Cole on this. Westchester has responded to a lot of MVIs and they need the proper equipment for our volunteers to respond to those incidents. So I want to say thank you to you and your staff for doing this.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
All right. Now for the question, all in favor, say aye. Contrary-minded, nay. The motion is passed unanimously. Okay, number 5, adjournment. Call for adjournment, moved by Councilor Gilroy. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for attending today, and enjoy the rest of the day. Have a good one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.